Hey guys, welcome to the workshop here today. We're going to be building our production planter bed. We're trying to get ready for spring here. You can see we've made this one out of pressure treated lumber. We are going to be putting a liner in it to keep a barrier between the pressure treated material and our garden soil. It's built out of 2x8 timbers. It's 16 feet long by 4 feet wide. We found that to be a pretty good size to work with. So we're going to start processing some of the material down and let's get started. Alright, so we're going to go over to the chop saw because it's a little bit easier to make these on the chop saw with the shorter pieces. I've used the circular saw on the bigger lumber because they're heavy and they're just very awkward to get onto the chop saw table. So let's go over to the chop saw now. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to make one template. So we're going to mark our template at 14.5 inches long. All right. And we really don't need to put a line on this with the square because it's going right up on the chop saw anyways. So what we're going to do is make sure the material's tight up against the fence, it's flat, and that we're keeping our fingers back at a safe distance. Remember, these saw blades don't care what they're cutting. All right, so what I normally do is I'll just write temp on the board. That's our template. We're going to use that every single time. If we start using the piece of lumber that we cut, the tolerances are going to run out on it. So what we do is we hold it tight or flush on the end, and we're going to put a pencil mark on this side of it. Now you can see right here that our pencil mark is on the outside of our cut line, so we always cut the line off when we're using a template block. Once again, tight up against the fence. There we go, 8 more times and we'll be ready. Piece on this side and a bigger piece on this side. What I would like to do is when I put it in the saw, I'm going to put it in this way so our fingers are farther back from the saw blade. Same thing as before, we're just going to cut the line off. And there we go. It's safer that way, and I'd rather keep all my fingers. Alright, now for these, the upright blocks, the 14.5s that we'd already cut up on the chop saw. We're going to fit them tight into the corner. This is going to make it a lot easier to put the second row on. So what we're going to do, put it on the corner of the board. On a 45-degree angle. That's going to suck that board into the corner nice and tight. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to mark our 3/4 inch offset. And we're just going to put a line. That'll keep our screw line nice and straight and make sure that we don't miss the material. Doing this is going to keep these corners together nice and tight. And then I'm just going to put 3 on these ones. I don't think that we're not going to need the 4 on there. now we got our 4 corner posts installed. Now we can put the other 16-foot boards on top and fasten them to that. All right, so now we're gonna start putting the second layer on this planter bed. This is only a 2-layer high planter bed. It ends up being about 14.5 inches tall. So what we're gonna do is we've got our corner piece in. We're gonna put our 148 in first. It makes it easier to put it together this way. All right, an inch down. We're gonna make it flush. Give her a little tap. All right, we're gonna put the screw in. All right, same thing. We're only putting 3 in this face. All right, so we're gonna line up this corner. Same thing, an inch in from the top. We're gonna do 4 on this face. And part of the reason that I put 4 on one side and 3 on the other is grain structure in the way that it's going to hold the fastener in there. Since all the grain runs this way, it's a lot easier for the screw to pull out of the grain that way. If we're coming in from the side, the grain's running this way, so the screw doesn't rip out as easy. So that's why I decided to put an extra fastener in this end versus the other end. All right, so now that we got the 4 in there, we're gonna come into this side. We're gonna do the same thing as we did on the bottom. We're gonna put the 3 screws in on an angle. I'll tell you, that isn't going anywhere at all.
All right, so now that we have all the corners fastened together, and now we can move on to moving the upright posts. They're right here. What we're going to do is keep the boards from separating, pushing out one another either way, the soil pushing from the inside out. And then what we're going to do is brace on the inside, and that's going to keep the plants that from pushing out all the weight of the soil on it, the frost and everything else. So, every 4 feet. We're just going to put a mark, 48 inches. We're going to put one at 96 inches, which is 8 feet. All right, and then we're going to do one at 12 feet, 144. All right, so do the same on the other side. 48 inches, 4 feet. 96 inches or 8 feet, and 12 feet, 144 inches.
Not too bad.
Block. We're just going to eyeball. It's about centered up. And that's going to be absolutely fine for what we're doing here. So, these are 3-inch screws. Inch and a half equals 3 inches. So if we put this screw straight in, it's going to poke out the other side. And by putting them in on just a slight angle, about an inch down, back from the edge, it's not only going to hold the joint together better, it's going to keep you from poking your fingers on the other side. So all we need to do, we put our square on one side, we square up this block, follow the line,
just on a bit of an angle, 45 approximately, maybe a little bit less. Expanding, because as you can see, when we put the soil in, it's just gonna go. So what we're gonna do is we can just feel through the tieback where the crack is, and we're just gonna put it on the bottom. I can feel it on this side, and what that is that's the seams where the two pieces of wood meet. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna put a few screws in. We'll put it down on the bottom side of it. Making sure that we pull it tight together.